Each year, the United Nations holds a conference on climate change to assess what progress has been made in fighting the climate crisis across the globe and to discuss what steps need to be taken to move forward. This year's Conference of the Parties, known as COP24, is being held in Katowice, Poland, right now. And it is right there where Dr. Carlo RITTL, the Executive Secretary at Climate Observatory, joins us via satellite. Hello, Doctor. How are you doing? Welcome.
Thank you. Hello. I hope you are all fine. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to speak to you in a very important moment for the world while we are here at the COP24 and also for Brazil, since we are in the edge of seeing significant changes in the government that might reflect in impacts on policies and that could lead us into a difficult direction for forests, biodiverse people, and also for the climate.
Thank you, Dr. RITTL. Can you talk a little bit about the Climate Observatory and its mission?
Okay, Climate Observatory is a network comprising 44 non-governmental organizations established in 2002 and which aims to produce information, data and analysis in order to provide subsidies for the progress on the public policies at the federal level for Brazil to tackle solutions for the climate crisis, either on reducing emissions or on adaptation measures. At the same time, we work for the progress on the positions that the government of Brazil takes and brings to the international forums such as the UNFCCC and the UN Climate Conference as COP24.
Very important. Dr. RITTL, what can the civil society organization and the scientific community do to emphasize the seriousness of the climate crisis to the public and generate a call to action?
Well, we can work producing data. For example, we at the Climate Observatory produce greenhouse gas emission estimates for Brazil for the previous year. We have just released about a couple of weeks ago data for Brazil, for Brazilian emissions back in 2017. And at the federal level and also by states we, based on our data, we are able to analyze the progress that Brazil is setting on policy to reduce deforestation, to increase the share of renewable energy, and also to do our own analysis and bring recommendations for the government to move towards what needs to be done. As observers in this international process, we have the challenge to translate the complexity of not only climate change, but also the political process towards the public. What does means to agree on the rule book of the Paris Agreement, which is a sort of the legislation behind the agreement that will enable countries and push countries towards their own climate targets to reduce emissions, on climate finance, and also on adaptation measures. And communicating well what's going on and connecting this process to what happens to the livelihoods of people, as the data and information shown by Mr. Gore and also shared by Professor Saldiva is deeply important. Sometimes this process seems a bit far away from our daily lives, and actually we are deciding the fate of humanity here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you are completely right. So what is the public's overall response toward the air pollution problem in Brazil, and how do you make them understand and connect to this problem?
Well, every public poll done related to climate crisis shows that most of Brazilians are aware of the problem, they are aware of the human responsibility behind the problem, and they are willing to see further action by the world community, but also by our own government. Brazil has been going through severe climate impacts. As an example, in the last 4 years, between 2013 and 2017, more than 48% of Brazilian cities suffered with severe droughts. at the same period, during the same period of time, more than 31% of Brazilian municipalities suffered with severe floods. And so Brazilians are aware that they are being already affected by the global climate crisis, and something more needs to be done. Yes, what we all expect of this international process to deliver, and also what we expect from every government and from our own government. We cannot accept setbacks, and we need to move forward because our crisis is becoming worse and worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Precisely, the Brazilian president-elect, Jair Bolsonaro, has voted to give up of anti-deforestation policies and allow businesses to start cutting down trees. Can you discuss the relationship between deforestation and the climate crisis?
Yes, it's absolutely critical. In Brazil, last year, according to our data, 46% of the gross emissions of gross greenhouse gas emissions came from deforestation, mostly in the Amazon, but not only in the Amazon region. We have also high rates of deforestation in the Amazonian Cerrado. In both regions last year, we deforested about 14,000 square kilometers of pristine forests. This has contributed a lot to put Brazil among the 10 top greenhouse gas emitters worldwide. We are between the 6th and the 7th place of this ranking. And globally, deforestation contributes to something between 10 and 20% of the overall greenhouse gas emissions. And so tackling deforestation could be the fastest ways to deliver the results and the reductions that we need, and we need fast.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. RITTL, for all the work that you do and for being here with us. Thank you very much.